Barbados, get up.
Good morning Barbados, good morning to you. Good morning, 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 morning. Good morning to you. Good morning Barbados, good morning to you. Good morning Barbados, good morning. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Morning to you.
Good morning to you indeed, and welcome to the start of a brand new work week. It's Monday, the 20th of April, 2026, and I am Pearson Bowen, welcoming all of you from the weekend into the start of a new week indeed. And boy, are we busy indeed. And so I hope you've had a wonderful weekend. You took time to rest, always remembering to take time to say good morning and thank you to God first, and then you share that blessing with your neighbor, because those are the two greatest commandments left for us by Jesus. And so for those of you watching us on our streams on Facebook, YouTube, and our website cbc.bb, we encourage you to share the show. We don't mind you talking among yourselves, but we love when you talk to us as well. So we're looking forward to your comments and queries and conversations as well right here on Morning Barbados. And as always, I remind you, if you know of someone or something that has to be told by us, then you tell us about it. Point us in that direction. You can do so by sending us an email. The email address is right there. Mornin Barbados at cbc.bb, and we thank you for doing so. Before we get further into it, I want to wish today Dawn Light, a very happy birthday to you today. Dawn, hope you have a marvelous Monday as you celebrate yet another milestone in your journey of this thing called life. But what a weekend we've also had. At the weekend, on Saturday, as a matter of fact, at the Hilton Barbados was the launch of Crop Over 2026. A big launch it truly was. And I'm sure you may have already heard about it, or you may not. And if you didn't, let's take a look at what happened on Saturday at the Hilton when the National Cultural Foundation launched Crop Over 2026.
And what we endeavored to do today with our Crop Over Village at the launch was to give you a little sample of just a few of the elements that make up the festival. Crop Over is heritage, first and foremost. It's founded, it's grounded in our history, authentically so. And therefore it's no accident that Crop Over is part of the season of emancipation that starts on the 14th of April, so it started just on Tuesday of this week, and it goes all the way down to the end of August. Crop Over helps Barbados to preserve our culture. And we at the NCF do it through our Junior Masquerade program, our Junior Monarch program, the ceremonial delivery of the last games, and the Pick of the Crop competition. All aspects of our true and authentic culture. Crop Over is about families and friends coming out and having a great time, and for the NCF, a slew of free events where you can just come out and soak up the festival, soak up the culture. So we look forward to welcoming you at Pandemonium, arguably the largest event of the season, at Bridgetown Market, where you can browse and line and shop for authentic art and craft. Of course, Crop Over is Grand Kadooment on 4-day morning. It is a jump like no other. 4-day morning in the cool of the 4-day morning. And on the Grand Kadooment day, whether it's blazing sunshine or some torrential showers, we on the road, we outside, we're not looking back. But Crop Over is all about reimagined events. So Fusions, every year, Fusions gives us a different interpretation and expression of our music traditions. This year, when we look at reimagined events, Crop Over is all about the return of the Party Monarch competition. Who will be crowned the sweet soca monarch? Who will be crowned the power soca monarch? Who will take away $100,000 in each competition? But how is it reimagined? You gotta come and see. It's about partnerships. And this year, we have decided to partner with small promoters who already have very popular, thriving Crop Over events. whether it is something called Soca State of Mind. Y'all ever heard that? I don't know. Something called Soca State of Mind, and there's so many others. We'll be partnering with them to put the salt and the sweetness and the tanginess into crop over. So listen out for that. But when we talk about partnerships, how could we not talk about our sponsors, our parent ministry that always supports us, our board, all of the other agencies, whether they're the protected services or the emergency services, the Ministry of Education that allows us to go into the schools and teach the children how to make masquerade, our vendors, our service providers, and of course the media who capture everything. And trust me, we're not afraid, I repeat, we are not afraid of tackling the tough questions. But we are also extremely proud to showcase the absolute beauty and wonder of our festival. Crop Over is also about our storytellers. And as I said at the top, this is not our story. This is not our story as in the NCF. This is Barbados' story.
And I cannot believe that Crop Over come back around again, but you want to know something? I'm vexed because this is my favorite time of the year.
Go. Crop Over is love indeed, and so it's the sweetest summer festival in its media launch on Saturday gone at the Hilton Barbados. As it was a media launch, you would have seen right there CBC all over it. The stations of the CBC will be all over Crop Over, you better believe it. But if you missed what Cara Roberts shared at the top, let's give you a look at what the calendar of activities would look like. As you can see on your screen, take a look at your screen, because perhaps the event that you're looking to be at is right there on the screen. Whether it's the Junior Monarch competitions, there are a couple of Junior Monarch tents, the semi-finals, a Panyard Lime, the ceremonial delivery of the last canes is on the 4th of July, Pandemonium Fusions, but look at the very bottom, you see, the return of Cahabla Pot. Cahabla Pot ends the season of Crop Over, and so we're looking forward to what the calendar of activities will bring to the excitement of Crop Over, the sweetest summer festival, because Crop Over is love. But also on Saturday, something other significant happened. We're actually 8 minutes into the new sound of 94.7 FM as we have rebranded that station to be Vibe 94.7 FM. And in the morning, this morning, is Kirk Brown. Yes, Kirk Brown is now anchoring the morning show on 94.7 FM. KB Clean moves to the afternoon, but all between them, you will hear the sweetest music of your memories and the sweetest music of today as well, all mixed into one to bring you the vibe. And all Crop Over, it will be known as the Vibe of Crop Over, the station of Crop Over indeed. Well, let's take a look at this.
A new sound is breaking through. Vibe 94.7 FM is redefining the game with a perfect fusion of adult contemporary hits, Bajan beat, and regional flavor. Spiced up with old school flavor. A fresh twist on a trusted formula. Experienced personalities plus new voices equals unmatched energy. We're keeping it real with news, info, and conversations that matter. But get ready. From May 4th, Vibe 94.7 FM becomes the official sound of Crop Over. High frequency soca, new releases, and pure energy. We're connecting you to the festival vibe. The revolution is here. Are you ready? Vibe 94.7 FM. where the good vibes flow.
So the good vibes are flowing even as we speak on 94.7 FM. Tune in, test it to get a taste of it and share the show with everyone as well. Coming up today, we want to take a look at the vaccination and immunization, what it means when you do not stick to your vaccination schedule for your children. Who is at risk? We'll talk a little bit more about that this morning. The campus libraries, they're marking a very significant week for librarians. And so we'll meet a librarian and we'll talk a little bit more about the contribution of librarians and the library to a lived development on island. Also coming up today, remind you that Christians can have fun too. And there's a fun event being hosted by the New Testament Church of God. We'll tell you more about that, and I can't wait to introduce you to some winners coming out of the oratorical competition regionally, and the winners are with us. Stay with us for that and a whole lot more right after this.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
God will not give you a job. God will not call you to do something and then not give you the capacity to have it, to make it happen. He will give you the resources, he'll give you the people. Not only will he equip you with ideas, but he will equip you with favor, as he did Nehemiah.
Turn on the latest episode of Infinite Possibilities, only on CBC TV8, every Sunday at 1:30 p.m., sponsored by Covenant Life Teaching Center.
Welcome to Nature's Discount, the ultimate health food store. At Nature's Discount, we have thousands of quality products at great prices.
Hi guys, Dottie here with Nature's Discount, and today we are talking about Solar Ray Microbiome Probiotics and why you should be taking them.
And we have well over 3,000 amazing products to help you get healthy.
For your health tips, tune in to CBC TV8 every Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday for Nature's Discount, sponsored by Get Healthy Incorporated.
98. Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
12 and a half minutes now after 6 o'clock. You know that children and young people bless my heart, and they'll bless yours as well, because we love it when they exceed and excel at what they do. And we are pleased this morning to share with you some very, very beautiful young people who've done some wonderful things in their own name and for the island of Barbados as well. In the oratorical competition, there's also the district one, there's also an essay competition. And the winners of that essay competition are from Barbados, and they're right here with me. As a matter of fact, they're from Harrison College, but that's all right. That's not their fault completely. Rashana Clark is with me, and Narisha Ashwanath as well. Good morning, ladies. Congratulations.
Good morning, thank you.
You're very welcome. And I mean, it must mean something to Rashana to have won this essay competition. What does it mean?
For me, it means that hard work has paid off. I was extremely excited when I learned that I won, and I learned that hard work truly pays off, and I was so grateful to be able to win this on my first try.
What did you write about?
I actually wrote about my grandfather and what he taught me and the values that he taught me and how that has influenced my life and impacted me positively to be a member of the Junior Optimist International at my school, as well as doing good work for the environment. I also run my own nonprofit, Kingdom Barbados.
Oh.
Yes, so a part of that actually influenced my decisions to even make this nonprofit, and I just believe that overall that it was just heartwarming, and I was so grateful to win.
As an optimist, what does it mean to be an optimist?
To be an optimist means that you are willing to put others before you. To be an optimist, I think that it's someone who understands service, understand helping persons, and someone who is willing to wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning or even be up late at night to create something positive with other young people for young people.
You said you spoke about the values your grandfather taught to you. Could you share a couple?
Well, in terms of the values that he taught me, of course, honesty. One of the things that he also taught me was environmental sustainability. So simple things like picking up bottles around the neighborhood, speaking with people, connecting with persons. And that's just something that I wanted to share with others and also positively impact others, because I believe in this world we need a lot of love.
Oh, we do need a lot of love indeed. So when did you find out that you had won the essay contest?
I'm going to be completely honest. I knew when I received a call on Friday asking for me to come on Mornin Barbados. And that is when I learned that I won. I'm being completely honest. I had no clue. No. I was on the phone with my friend Davison. He's my best friend. And I was just, chatting away, talking about exams, planning and whatnot. And I just saw this call and I just answered. And then I was like, Davison, I win. I didn't even know. I was so surprised.
Well done indeed. I love your reaction. It was beautiful. Narisha, what did you write about?
Okay, so what I did is that I know for a lot of the Indo-Caribbean community, we have a very unique experience. So I spoke about my experience within the Indo-Caribbean community and how them raising me and how community service was instilled within my upbringing before I even realized. So I spoke about that and how that lent to me further going into service organizations like Key Club, Junior Optimist as well, similar to Rishana's story.
I know you talk because I bet you at the Junior Minister Tourism competition. But writing, is that also something you've also been passionate about?
Yes, please. So currently I am the editor-in-chief for the Collegian, which is the school newspaper. So writing was actually originally my first interest before I got into oratorical. Oratorical was something I did not expect that I was interested in until my first time back in, I think, 2023 when I did the oratorical segment of the same Junior Optimist competition. And I got second for that. So that's kind of where it had my head start into oratorical and writing both started.
So were you limited in terms of the number of words that you had to submit for the essay competition?
We had, I think it was an 800-word limit. I quickly reached that. I got carried away writing, and then I was like, oh, let me check this because there's a very strict word limit. Yes. I was like, oh, 700 and something words. I was like, oh, okay, so I need to
slow down.
Yeah. There was a lot that I wanted to talk about, especially with it being a very unique experience and, representing your community, especially since we're a minority community within Barbados at least. So there was a lot that I wanted to talk about, and it was a very specific way I wanted to phrase it to get my idea out there. So yes, it was difficult trying to stay within that 800-word limit.
But you placed second again.
Yes.
Is it beginning to feel as though number 2 is your number?
Yes, I was actually thinking about that coming before this. I was like, second place course, but couldn't be more grateful.
Well, at least you're grateful indeed. Please. Where were you when you were told that you were the winner?
I was actually at home. It was a very casual thing. Miss Hercules reached out to me because I would have had her contact from beforehand. And I was like, okay, this is something I was not expecting at all because, to be quite honest and frank with you, I completely decided to do this essay competition spontaneously. So I wrote it and submitted it the night before it was due. So I was not expecting for it to, place regionally at least. So it was honestly very surprising. But I got I got the news in a a lot more casual environment. I was like, oh, okay.
You're grateful for all of this.
Yes, please.
Rishana, is writing for young people, because oftentimes the tablet seems to have taken over our skills at writing and reading, just engaging with text. How has this really now shifted the young people's views, your win, in writing more, actually pouring out their ideas onto paper?
I think pen to paper is actually the best way to write, in my opinion. And that's what I actually did in the beginning of my essay writing competition. I wrote it on pen to paper and then I just edited it, to make sure that I stayed within the word limit, because similar to Narisha, I was well over 800 words. You get there extremely fast. So overall, I do think writing is extremely important, and I would encourage everyone to write. It may not be a long essay. You may want to just write maybe a poem or maybe a short story, but I think that we need to encourage more writing, more pen to paper and less digital writing.
I know you hold the same view, Narisha, but oftentimes young people think there's nothing to write about, there's nothing to say. What do you then, as an editor, say in response to that?
Honestly, you can write about anything. It's about putting your mind to what you want to write, the thought that you have behind it. Once you have an idea that you want to write, I always tell my editors, I always tell my writers, it's about getting started. The hardest part about writing is getting started and then being able to articulate your words. But there's so many people around you that once you get started that you can go to them for the advice, go to them for help. To be able to articulate your words is very important, especially in this modern society, especially with the use of slang and text. A lot of people use shorthand words, abbreviations. So similar to, I agree with what Roshana says, being able to write, being able to articulate your thoughts properly is such an important skill, especially as school children, and then even going into the working world. Being able to articulate your words, being able to put down what you want to say, because that's the hardest part. Being able to figure out what you want to write and how you want to write it. So I always tell my editors, always tell my my writers to think first about what you want to write, and then if you need any help along the way, there are so many people that can come to you, that can help you, that can guide you.
Are you satisfied that there are sufficient fora for young people to write, to share their thoughts, or us, the big old people, not providing enough space to hear your thoughts and ideas?
I actually think that there's so many opportunities out there to engage in writing competitions, to be able to write, but the problem is exposure. So you kind of have to do some deep digging to figure out, because a lot, for me, the Junior Optimist competition, both essay and oratorical, was kind of underground for me until I actually entered Junior Optimist, and then they would be like, oh yeah, so there's an essay competition, there's an oratorical competition, when really and truly it's open to the entire school, not just to persons within the Junior Optimist Club, but it's kind of underground, and it's the same thing that goes regionally, internationally with essay competitions. You know, you don't really realize that it's happening until, you know, someone tells you, or you see it when you just like happening or passing. So yeah, I think exposure is the most important thing, and I think adults can play a role there in helping to guide the children, especially when we want to be able to develop key skills such as articulating, writing. So I think exposure is the most important thing, and I think adults can help guide through that, and, you know, help point us in direction. I'm not saying to like spoon feed, but I'm saying, but to be able to guide and have that reassurance that, you know, there's something out there for me that I can try, but it's to be able to, you know, first get my hand on it and have a go at it.
Roshana, what happens at Optimist? What do y'all do when you join an Optimist club?
Well, at my school, Junior Optimist Club, what we tend to do is that we tend to meet, we bring forth our ideas, hear what persons have to say. Maybe persons may have similar ideas, join those ideas together. I know one of the things that recently we wanted to work on was a collaboration with the Junior Optimist Club at Queen's College. So overall, I think at our clubs, our meetings, that we tend to communicate, plan ideas, and really create an impact. And I think that's the main goal with our club, is to create an impact, not just to do something, but to create an impact and to solve a problem, or to be or assist in solving a problem.
I can't wait to hear. Listen, I'll take a break. Don't go anywhere, okay? Don't go anywhere, because I want to hear the plans that these young ladies have. They're so fluent and they're so intelligent. I'm enthralled by their presence, indeed. And so we'll take a break here. We'll come back and talk more to these young ladies who are winners of the regional essay competition. We're right back after this.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
98.1 The One, your number one party station. With an audience from 18 to 40, we keep you engaged, energized, and entertained. Choose 98.1 FM, The One.
Hey there, it's Mahalia. I want to share something that might be really helpful. If you're feeling anxious, overwhelmed, depressed, or lonely and have no one to talk to, call Lifeline Barbados. We all face struggles at times in our lives. You're not alone. There's no need to feel ashamed or embarrassed. It's okay to reach out for support. Lifeline Barbados is completely confidential. No one else will know you called. They're there to offer a caring ear and guidance without judgment. And fellas, I want you to know asking for help is a true sign of strength. It takes real courage to reach out. You can also call Lifeline Barbados if you're worried about loved ones who are struggling and you need advice on how to support them. There's a saying, a problem shared is a problem halved, but not everyone has someone they can confide in. That's why Lifeline Barbados exists, to be there for you or someone you care about during tough times. Save this number. Lifeline Barbados is just a call away.
Good morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
We're with the District Essay Contest winners from Harrison College. This is all part of an initiative of the Optimist International. And the winner is Roshana. Roshana Clark, the Clark, and Narisha Ashwanath, has she placed second indeed, but both are from Barbados, both are from Harrison College. And so here we are now. The Optimist has helped you significantly in providing you with a space to express in the way that you have been doing.
Yes, please.
Think of life for just broadly. You're so young. How old are you?
I'm only 17.
She's only 17. Have you had a chance to look down life's journey and thought of what you want to be?
Yes, please.
What do you see?
Right now, I know that I want to be a civil lawyer because I would like to defend those who don't have a voice. And I think that that has been influenced by me being in Junior Optimist International. And I would definitely love to do that going on to the future. And what I plan to do with my future is not only to continue with my impact with Kingdom Barbados, I'm a part of the other organizations I'm part of, such as Barbados National Youth Parliament, and I'm also a part of the Barbados Youth Development Council. But I also plan to work with young people and to assist persons who have interests, such as myself, because oftentimes, as Narisha mentioned, sometimes you need a guiding light, and I think that I can be that guiding light for those young people when I am older.
This passion for youth and youth work came from your grandfather?
I would say it's influenced by him, apart from other people as well. So I would have went to events and I would have met persons such as Ashley Lashley, Shea Greenwich, Gabrielle Gay, and I think those ladies have influenced me really and truly to really want to go into that life of service.
Have you told your grandfather how impactful he has been on you? Does he know?
Sadly, he has passed away.
Without you knowing? Without him knowing that you felt this way about him?
Well, he knew that I would have loved him, and he knew my love for service. And, you know, oftentimes conversating, you know when you have older parents that tend to communicate and they ask you how life is doing and then whatnot. And I think that really and truly having him in my life has been extremely impactful when he was here. And I just wish to live on that legacy that he would have influenced within me.
Wow. Narisha, what about you now? Your life is long. How old are you now?
I'm 18.
She's 18. And so you have a long life ahead of you. You love lots of years. How do you intend to spend those years?
Yes, so from little, I was almost absolutely certain that I wanted to go into medicine. So from the age 7, I've been saying the same thing, medicine, medicine, medicine. It has not changed from there. So yeah, I think I'm pretty certain that I'm stuck on medicine.
Why medicine?
I don't know. At first, I felt like I don't know, it was just like a initial inclination towards it. But then I also want to get into pediatric medicine, similar on the same trend with youth. And I realized like my introduction and my interaction with youth and whatnot, and especially with the rise of NCDs, obesity, especially in the youth basically, especially in Barbados with diabetes and stuff, I realized that, you know, we need more persons that are like assisting these persons that are helping to guide these children. And I know that parents sometimes may be a little bit negligent sometimes, especially when it comes to diabetes and obesity, and especially within the Caribbean when there's so much access due to globalization with the US and fast food and unhealthy snacks. So I thought my initial inclination was to medicine, and then it kind of broadened towards, well, it kind of narrowed down rather to pediatrics.
We have a pediatrician who's coming on the show a little later on. I hope you get a chance to interact with her. She's an alum of Queen's College, but that's okay. But here it is now, but pediatrician, unless I want to hear from you because we're preparing to mark the vaccination week in Barbados and the Americas. How important is vaccination, do you think? I
think it's incredibly important. I think what most people don't realize is that vaccination is not just some random thing that they put within your body. It's something that, you know, scientists and other persons have developed to be able to provide you with the immunity that you need against certain diseases. A lot of times people don't realize that you're not getting diseases because you have been vaccinated, and those vaccinations generally are boosters to your immunity. They help to protect you from other diseases that you don't want to encounter. So I think it's incredibly important, and I think awareness definitely needs to be spread when it comes to vaccination to kind of get rid of the taboo that, you know, that vaccination is something scary, that is something completely unknown that they're putting into my body. Like, no, that a vaccination is just a way to boost your immunity, and it's only helping you rather than, you know, being detrimental towards you.
Professor Anne St. John will be so proud of you because you answered correctly, hit it on the spot. As a kingdom worker, Roshana, talk to me about your faith and why young people really need to take seriously in their youth their faith.
Okay, well, I am Seventh-day Adventist to begin with. And for me, I think that exploring faith is extremely important because for me, my faith is my foundation. And even if you're not committed, I think that you should at least try. I think you should at least try and be open and maybe learn more about it and see if that is something that you believe. And not only that, but you also may be able to connect with persons, because that's what I did. I was able to connect with other young people that wanted to do impactful work and have Christ as our foundation.
I'm so proud of you. I'm beginning to feel something well up inside of me, honestly. So I got to get back to the conversation now. When Miss Hercules called you and said to you what she said to you, who was the first person, other than your best friend who was on the line with you, who was the first person after that that you told about your win?
My mother. She was extremely excited. She was on her way to work, and I just called her. I was like, "Hi, Mom, I won." And then she was like, "You won!" And then she automatically posted on her status, her Facebook. All of her friends had to know. And to be honest, I was so excited. I shared with everyone as well. Actually, I think most of my friends are right now watching Mornin Barbados.
And they're no doubt beaming brightly because you're doing so well. What about you, Narisha? Who was the first person after the call that you shared the news with?
The first person was also my mother. My mother has been with me every step of the way, especially when it comes to Junior Optimist and these oratorical competitions. And she was actually the person that encouraged me to do the essay competition. That was not something I had in mind. I wouldn't mind repeating oratorical over and over again. But she was like, you know what, try something different, diverge from what you usually do. And as much as I do essay writing, she was like, you've never done it competitively, so why not? So I was like, before this, I was like, oh, okay, I'll do it. As I said, it was a completely spontaneous decision because I wasn't planning to do it. And then so when I got the message from Miss Hercules, I was like, oh, this is unexpected. So I went to my mother and she was honestly more excited than me. She was like, oh my God, I told you.
Supportive parents. Supportive parents is so vital indeed. But we support you here at Mornin Barbados as well. Me, I do, for sure, if no one else does. And I'm sure thousands of Barbadians watching today are feeling the very same way, very positive about you as young ladies, and very positive about you because you are so articulate. And we're excited about what the future holds for both of you, whether it's in pediatrics or whether it is as an attorney at law. We are proud of both of you, Roshana and Narisha. Thank you so very much for joining us. Pat Ben says congratulations to both you young ladies for being winners of the essay competition. And Pat is in the United States. Janice Jordan says, what beautiful young ladies, almost sound like adults. Yes, they are growing into beautiful adults indeed. And so we want to hear more from you. Don't ever go quiet. Don't go quiet. Barbados needs your voice. Marcia Ross says, congratulations about this other one. Marilyn says, love you both. People on our social media are commenting about it. Vereen Walker, congratulations to both of you. Well done. Very well done indeed. And so knowing that Barbadians are watching you, Barbadians want to hear you, does it scare you anything, Roshana?
It excites me. And for me, I would like to encourage more young people to be more involved in creating a positive impact. Once again, young people are the future, so I think we need to have more young people at the decision-making level. I think we need to encourage more persons to speak up, have public speaking. One thing I'll also reiterate, Barbados National Youth Parliament. I think that has, me being a youth parliamentarian, has influenced me to share my voice and feel confident sharing my voice. And as leader opposition business, I am so grateful and I'm actually able to help other young people, and I would definitely encouraged. I'm so excited with what the Honorable Child Blackman is doing with wanting to have each child in at least one extracurricular. And for me, I would definitely love that for more persons. And I would say not only have one, but have two. One sport and then one extra, one that is non-physical. That way you get to connect with more persons. And what you will not even realize that there are persons who are similar and have similar goals to you and have similar beliefs to you. And you connect with and you make great friends. And I believe instead of this world that we need friends and we need persons to connect with. And I would say, yeah, that would be my answer.
You'd hear the parliamentarians knocking the table for you, right? Narisha, what about you? What does it mean knowing that people are watching you and they want to hear more from you?
At first it's scary, but similar to Rishana, it gets a little exciting, you know? Like when I first started at speech competitions, that's exactly how it was for me. It was like completely nerve-wracking, you know, this is something I've never done before. But then once I got on the stage and began to speak, and then I realized that so many people were listening to me, that my voice had so much power within it, it excited me, you know, the possibilities that could go from here on. And I think what's important is for young people to get involved is knowing that they're supported. Maybe you might not have it at home, or maybe you do, but it's that extra, like, you know, security when you realize that so much more people, your entire community, Barbados supports you, and especially if you're putting your voice out there at a regional level, at an international level, there's so much support for you, so much care for you, and Bajans love to see other Bajans up. So just knowing that you have that, you know, that safety net, that security, that so many people are rooting for you, so many people are supporting you, I think that's incredibly important for young people to realize. And that will be the push forward for them to actually engage in more, you know, public speaking, essay writing, putting your opinions and your thoughts out there. It's so important, especially as youth, within an age where I guess older persons believe that we're kind of a lost age, that, you know, we're doing this, violence, that. I think it's important for us, especially now, to put our voice out there and, you know, completely negate those thoughts, those opinions, so that we're able to put a presence on a regional, international stage, so that people know that we have, like, you know, we're so much more than just young people that people have to babysit or spoon feed. We're people that will be the next generation, and for you to be able to put your trust in the next generation, because we have the ability to, you know, completely expand from here.
I feel so confident now about the next generation. Thank you so much, ladies, for joining me this morning. And congratulations on your wins. And keep writing, keep speaking, keep sharing, keep thinking, keep everything that you've got so far, because the future looks absolutely bright for each of you. Rashana Clark and Marishka Ashwanath. Narisha Ashwanath. Thank you so much. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Blessings upon each of you. Morning Barbados is beaming brightly. We'll take a break right here. When we come back, there's a young man who has a story to tell you. We'll share with you that story right after this.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Books open your heart, your mind, and your soul. They are educational, entertaining, inspiring, and motivating. Are you an author of a recent book you want to share? Then Mornin Barbados would love to feature your book in our The Next Chapter segment. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb. That's morning without the G. Come and let us turn those pages together.
Week after week, Scold presents exciting reports and documentaries on the most varied topics of our time. Spectacular developments and innovations, lifestyle and trends of tomorrow, mobility and tourism, health news, highlights from art and culture. Each contribution grabs the viewer with extraordinary images and stories, and takes him into fascinating worlds which he experiences here exclusively and up close. We're there when companies and specialists develop super satellites for a global network in space and can look behind the scenes. Scold is a window to everything that is there or is yet to come. Fly with us through time to better understand today and tomorrow. You've always wanted that. Scold, a look into the future.
Our world today is not the world God wants it to be. One of the reasons, which will surprise many, is that our planet, its governments, and its peoples are all living under the weight of Satan's rule.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
You see, you're born somewhere. You go to school. You wear that uniform. And just like that, you belong.
You saw that piece, and you saw Tajiri now. Tajiri was actually mouthing. You remember it so well, right, Tajiri? Jerry Ford is his name. He represented Barbados in the regional oratorical competition in Jamaica just a weekend or two ago. And he came second. He had more, he would have come first. Next to me is Mornin Hercules, who is with Optimist Clubs Barbados. Mornin, good morning to you.
Good morning, Pearson. It's nice to see you.
You have brought to me today some exciting young people. The two ladies who went before, and here it is now. Let's talk a little bit about the work of the Optimist Clubs of Barbados and just the kind of people you're producing.
We have 7 Optimist Clubs in Barbados at the moment. And our mission, is to bring out the best in our children, in our community, and in ourselves. And we're a friend of youth. So we're very proud of the young people. We do several programs with them, not just the oratorical or the essay contest. We just completed a junior golf program with them. We're into golf as well. We have programs where we have youth appreciation with them. We have some of the young people, as you see some of them from Carson College, used to read with us. We have a reading program. Our club has one at St. Stephen's every Saturday morning while school is in session. And the young people come out and help us to teach the children how to read. What we do for the group, a part of the community, we have something called Adopt a Family program that we're very proud of. We work with Child Care Board now, the Social Empowerment Agency, and they recommend families to us. So we don't just deal with children. These families have children. So the families come to us once a month. We have a session with them, and they bring their children along. We take care of them while the parents are listening to the words of wisdom from the session last Saturday was about train up a child. So we took care of the children while the parents listened to that. So we take care of the families as well. And we do whatever we can to bring out the best in our children. We believe in our children as
We
Optimists.
do too. We do at Mornin Barbados as well. And so we had the local oratorical competition. Ding Dong Battle up there presenting.
Yes.
How many schools, how many young people this
Only
year?
8 young people took part this year. It's open to every children in all our secondary schools. And the invitation goes out that each school is allowed to send 2 children to the oratorical contest. They can send up to 4 essays in the essay contest. We invite them all. Unfortunately, this year, it was one of our lowest numbers. We only had 8 contestants, and those represent only 5 schools of all the schools in Barbados. And we're so glad for those parents and teachers that allow those children to take part, because they really blew us away. Those 8 children blew us away. We held our contest at the Caribbean Development Bank, which has been our greatest sponsor, I have to say. Our very, very great title sponsor. They allowed us to use their nice facilities for that contest. And when people listen to Jack, oh boy, people are blown away, away. When he got to Jamaica, I got one text from the chaperone.
Yes.
He is stirring up Jamaica. Yes, that's what they said. He was stirring up. They did well. The chaperone says they did exceedingly well.
I am telling you, I'm so proud of this young man. I've met him 2 years ago now. When he came first, and you remember his face, folks, when he represented the Ellerslie School in the Mr. Executive competition. Tajiri came and Tajiri took it away. He came and he won, boom. And then we sat on Mornin Barbados and you told me your story of what you were dealing with and how over that program helped you to begin your process of transformation. You later went on, and tell your story ahead of you, tell me something else, to become the deputy head boy at the Ellerslie School. And then in talking to me about that earlier this year, you said to me, you met Christ.
Yes, sir.
You remember that?
Yes, sir.
You're having that journey still?
Still having that journey.
You're still having that journey. And I'm seeing such a development in you as a young man in community and in society. What made you say you wanted to be a part of this year's oratorical competition?
Well, for me, it was that I placed 3rd last year. So the drive within me not only led me to saying that, okay, I have to be determined. I didn't get where I wanted to be last year, so I'll try again this year. You understand? So that 3rd place spot not only put me in the mindset that I have to try again this year, but even try harder. You understand? And with trying harder, I did my best and achieved 1st place. You understand? I was truly humble and I felt excited. You understand? Because that granted me the opportunity to represent Barbados in Jamaica.
Yeah. So you got to Jamaica.
Yeah.
You know now you're against the region. It's not just your people who you go to school with in Barbados. This is the region. And these are people who you don't even know. You just heard of places and so forth. And then you got reports saying you tearing up Jamaica. What does that mean? That you were tearing up Jamaica?
It wasn't really a surprise to me because I went in with a lot of confidence. Even before I got to the airport, I was already in the mindset, well, I'm going to do my best. If not me, then who? You understand?
Nice.
You have to have that mentality and mindset instilled within yourself even weeks, months before you get into these competitions or even these spaces, you understand? So it's a crucial part to prepare yourself, you know, get any mindset and saying, if you're not you, then who? You're the greatest, you understand? You have to boost yourself, give yourself the confidence because no one else will. Well, not no one else will, but you're your greatest supporter.
Yes.
You understand? So it starts from within yourself, and then you can get feedback and motivation from others, but it starts from you.
So you landed there knowing I'm the greatest.
I'm the greatest.
I can do this. If not me, who else?
Exactly.
And so you walked into the room. They called your name Barbados, representing Barbados to Jerry Ford. And you took the microphone. I saw you walking the floor. What did you talk about?
Well, I spoke about the moment I realized I belong. So that my speech was based on the first time my teacher and I met. You understand? It was the evening after school. Right, evening after school in third form. So we sat down. I sat down on the bench. Our blocks, the junior blocks at the time, there's like the big block, and then there's like a pasture region. So there's benches out there. So, you know, it was in the mind that I'm lost. You understand? I'm lost. So I stayed back. How's that? Then I saw this teacher approaching me. Then we chatted along, and this was around the time of Mr. Executive. You understand? So our relationship grew way before the program. So that not only strengthened practice and our chemistry, leading me to take first place within the competition, but that bond and that relationship has guided me and carried me so far. And I'm truly grateful for that.
You talked about that?
Yeah, I did. That was
You dug deep. You went really deep into talking about that relationship with your teacher and how your mentor has been with you every step of the way. And so at the end of it, how long do you have to talk for? 2 minutes or so?
5
minutes. Yeah. Did the time of 5 minutes seem like forever? Or did it seem like not enough time?
Not enough time. It flew. It quickly flew. You understand? It was so enthusiastic and full of energy. You understand? The time just flew. I know I got the mic, then I went to sit back down shortly after.
Well, I just started. Right? That's what you were thinking.
Yeah.
I've only just started. But in your head, you knew the construction of what you had to say. Beginning, the middle, and the end. How to hit that nail at the top of it all at the end of your speech as well. And then you sat there and you watched other people do their speeches, and you waited.
Correct.
And you waited. And you waited. And while you were waiting, what was going on in your head?
The guy that came first.
But you didn't know that yet? You were waiting. Okay,
right,
go ahead.
but seeing him speak, the guy that came first, I was like, okay. Because I went second last. You understand? So I was coming on to the end. So seeing him go up before me, I was like, to Jerry, you have to lock in. You understand? That is a term that us young people use to focus and channel all the energy into that particular thing you're doing. You understand? So I was like, he's coming strong. He finished off and was like, okay, begin in mind. I wasn't paying attention to the other contestants because it was like, I'm coming for you. I'm coming for you. You understand? So when I heard speaker K, I was like, okay, it's my time to shine. And it was sure it's my time to shine. So I got up, you know, really confident, got up there, did my thing. I was like, okay, yeah, this was a great performance because engaged in the crowd, you know, looking at everyone in the face, you know, the engagement really pushed me because it was enthusiastic, energetic, you understand, ambitious. And I think that is what really carried me to second place.
Wow. And then they announced. Yeah. It was K. K who won. That's you. And so it was like, whoa, me? You came second? Me? And you knew right away that you were already a winner.
Yes.
Already a winner. And I'm sure you, knowing you and your personality, you stepped up there and you owned your spot. Indeed. And now here you are. And in this jacket. In a red jacket?
Yes, sir.
Because you had to be seen, right?
Correct.
He is so well plotted, so well planned indeed. And so, Mornin, here it is. You have some wonderful ambassadors for Optimists in Barbados and the work of the Optimist Club. You had those two young ladies before, and now Tajiri is here. Men and women, young boys and young girls, and we're seeing the development that's happening indeed. I know Tajiri is best placed. I'll ask him as well, but talk to me a little bit about how easy it is to become a member of the Optimist Clubs.
Oh, very easy. They say it's by invitation, but you want to be part of us, just find an optimist. We're not hard to find, but we just come to our projects, come and see what we do. Whether we are painting a school, whether the British Young Club, for instance, just refurbished a whole media room, library and so for one of the primary schools in Barbados. We've done libraries for several schools already in Barbados. We, like I say, we read on Saturdays. We do mentorship programs with them as well. We have one called Rise Up. So come be part of the program. Get to see what we're doing and see whether it suits you. Because it doesn't have to suit you. You can be a regular member or you can be called a friend of Optimist, which means you are not held to come into every meeting, but you're going to support the projects. And we still call you a friend of Optimist. FOO is an abbreviation that we use for that. But we encourage people to join us. There's a lot of work to be done for our young people, we see. Yeah. So the more we get you involved with the new, it's called the Youth Village now, once a month. 3 of our clubs, we go up to FARS, used to be FARS, and we go and spend time with the children, have programs with them. That's what we do. So we give up every 3rd Saturday. We have our adopted family. Every 3rd Sunday, we go to the children's home, and then all the other things that we do. And then not all of us are retired. People are working people, and they're still willing to give. We have very devoted optimists here in the clubs.
You see life differently when you become a member of the Optimist Club. So we'll take a break here. When we come back, I want to hear Tajiri's perspective on what else can be done for our young men in community so we can turn them around as well, and how he can use his emphasis and his influence to be able to assist. We're right back right after this.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Our world today is not the world God wants it to be. One of the reasons which will surprise many is that our planet, its governments, and its peoples are all living under the weight of Satan's rule. From the beginning of mankind's existence to today, human history is the written record of what it means to live under the rule of the devil. Yet that rule is coming to an end, and what a difference that will make.
Every Sunday at 9 a.m. on CBC TV 8, tune in for Tomorrow's World, sponsored by the Living Church of God.
Some ask, what makes Barbados so special? We at Mornin Barbados say it's you, our exceptional youth. You are talented, resilient, and inspirational. You are the epitome of the Barbadian spirit.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
7 minutes to 7 o'clock. What a beautiful way to start your day, to start your week with the positivity of Barbados young people performing well on a regional stage. We know that global stages are waiting for them as well, but they inspire us to see life differently. And that's what these sessions have been about. Congratulations to you, young man. So very proud of you. That's from Marcia Roth. Thank you, Marcia, indeed, for your comments. Dan Roy says, congratulations to Jerry. I am proud of you. Thank you, Dan Roy. Barbados Travel Vlog. Thank you so much for commenting. Sandra Annie Richards, congratulations to Jerry. I love to see our youth achieving, especially our males. We agree with you completely. And what? Ellerslie. She asked the question, what is Ellerslie doing to assist the children? What do you say?
The teachers and the support team, they boost us and give us everything we need. You understand? Even when we don't want to be there and don't have the confidence and the motivation, they give their own and transform it into us. So LSD support team has really carried me forward. So without them, I wouldn't be where I am right now.
Boy, and so talk to me about where you are right now and what work you're doing to help other young men like yourself.
Okay. I'm going to take this wise saying from a guy named Raphael Saul. for me to stay humble, to be elevated publicly and grounded privately. You understand? So growing up in Grisettes, you know, the projects, Granny can say, but the jury know the garbage still gotta go. Don't matter how many things I achieve. You understand? You know, the jury, the garbage gotta go. The bathroom gotta scrub. You understand? And to me, I used to look at it as, why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? But over time, the values that it instilled in me has kept me humble. Do you understand? So being grounded privately is really the key to my success.
You're right. I had this sheep to deal with as a country boy. Didn't like it, but I understood it in time. And that's the whole point. Stick with it, stick with it, stick with it. We're only giving you the best. What are you doing though, Tajiri? Because you have a voice, you have a platform. You are now also the deputy head boy. You engage with other young boys your age and some much younger as well. Talk to me a little bit about what it is, and we're going to do that in a minute. But Merlin, you know, while we're getting ready to adjust, no worries, somebody's going to come and adjust something with you. Are you seeing more and more young boys coming through to be a part of it?
We only had 2 boys in the last contest, but I will tell you, the people in Jamaica, we are so excited in Jamaica. The boys shone. The first, second, and third were male. And the boys, all the boys in Jamaica, I'm told that they just blew things away. Normally, it's the girls. Our girls usually go and take up everything, you know. But the boys this year.
That is good.
So we are working. I think some of our clubs are working with young men as well to get them forward. And like I said, we just had the junior golf tournament, and I don't know, the winners will go off to take part in another leg of the contest in Florida sometime.
Sweet. The boys are coming through.
Yes, the boys.
So
we're proud of the boys. We are.
You're ahead of the pack. So talk to me about what you think you can do to make a difference with young boys and young men.
Okay, so we must give young boys the opportunity to express themselves. You understand? Mental health plays a key role. You understand? You must check in, even though someone might seem fine, they really aren't. So giving others the chance to express themselves can play a key role. You understand? Getting comfortable with the person can lead to they actually taking your advice and taking what you say to heart, other than just, okay, he's my teacher, he's just saying this because it's his job, or he lives around the neighborhood, he's just saying this because he knows my parents or whatever. But firstly, it must start with a relationship. Speaking on personal experience, building that bond and that relationship ties everything together. You understand? So the bond, you expressing yourself, you giving communication to others, and providing opportunities. Well, say that this thing is coming up, this can benefit you, and they look at it from a career and financial point. So we be doing all these great things, may look very good on our resume. You understand? And that's what a lot of young men are looking at. They're not looking at their future. They're studying the moment right now. But right now is the time to study your future. You understand? Because the future comes fairly fast.
I am telling you, I couldn't believe I'm this old right now. I still feel like 20-something. So I want you to give me, in a minute and a half, 90 seconds, if you can, a piece of your speech.
Okay. So a part of my speech, it said, if we truly want stronger young men, stronger schools, stronger communities, we must give others the chance to feel seen, heard, and valued. You understand? And those 3 things make up everything in life. Being seen, heard, and valued, you feel more important as a person. All of us are important, but it gives you that feeling, and that feeling is what boosts you and carries you a long way. So I don't just stand here as someone who understands where he belongs, but I stand here as someone who understands that belonging is something we create for others too. You understand? So what I'm saying there is that when you find your belonging, help someone else to find their belonging as well. Don't only benefit for yourself. Help your friends, family, people in the community. You understand? Because being greedy isn't the way. So if you know you can help someone, help someone.
Wow, Tajiri, well done. Well done, young man. Well done, yo. Have you set yourself another goal?
Yes, sir.
What's the next goal?
My next goal is to attain the title of Junior Minister of Tourism.
Be doing that. I'm going to be there with you on that, okay?
Yes, sir.
He's going to win the Junior Minister of Tourism. That's in this year's competition?
Not this year, next year. Because,
next year?
Yeah.
All right. We're looking forward to your success, all right? I can't wait to be a part of your success as well. To Jerry Ford of the Ellerslie School, the Deputy Head Boy, Mr. Executive, all of those acclaims we can give to him because he's worked hard and over the time he has really, really improved. Margot Johnson says congratulations to all these young people. Stay focused and keep on keeping on. We join you on that one indeed. And Merlene, thank you so much as always. You're doing such wonderful work through the Optimist with our young people. But congratulations to the clubs across Barbados as well. I hope everyone shows up and be a part of the club. Come see a project. You might like it and you'll see yourself in it.
I'll be sure to invite you on.
Indeed. Thank you all indeed. All the best. Morning Barbados comes right back right after this.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Some ask, what makes Barbados so special? We at Mornin Barbados say it's you, our exceptional youth. You are talented, resilient, and inspirational. You are the epitome of the Barbadian spirit, testing the boundaries of your creativity. If you are an entrepreneur, artist, baker, designer, author, or have done anything you think should be highlighted, email us at morninbarbados@cbc.bb. Let us show the world our exceptional Bajan youth.
From the beautiful shores of the gem of the Caribbean, Barbados, home of the amazing Harrison's Cave, the tantalizing Oystins Bay Garden, our historic garrison, the indigenous road tennis, and the friendliest people in the world. We are 94.7 FM, the ultimate Bajan experience.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Afar segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Let's look at the news now. On the cusp of the start of the new school term, the Ministry of Education's transformation is taking decisive and proactive steps to ensure full adherence to the national grooming policy across all schools. Meetings were convened by ministry officials with schools principals to reinforce the importance of the policy, ensure clarity of its provisions, and secure unified support for its consistent implementation. The Chief Education Officer, Dr. Ramona Archer-Bradshaw, emphasized that the policy is not merely about parents, but also about cultivating values that are essential to student development.
The National Grooming Policy clearly outlines its purpose, goals, scope, core values, and the roles and responsibilities of the ministry, school administrators, teachers, parents, and students. At its core, the policy promotes children being neat and tidy, and it goes well beyond appearance. It speaks directly to standards, self-respect, discipline, responsibility, and pride.
The ministry is also calling on students and parents to play their role in supporting the policy. Parents and guardians are encouraged to familiarize themselves with the policy available on the ministry's website and to ensure that their children or wards comply fully with the established guidelines.
Students, each day that you put on your school uniform, you represent your school, its values, its reputation, and its legacy. You also represent your parents and guardians who work hard to support you, as well as the wider community that uplifts you. Being neat and tidy and well-groomed in accordance with the established standards sends a powerful message. It shows that you take pride in who you are, that you are respectful to yourself and others, and that you are ready to learn. It reflects discipline, responsibility, and maturity.
Well, Minister of Education and Education Transformation Chad Blackman says government continues to emphasize that in order for the island to become competitive, there is a need to become multilingual. He made the comments as a number of students successfully crossed the floor to accept their certification in this year's Spanish and Venezuelan Culture program. The annual course is hosted by the Venezuelan Institute for Culture and Cooperation, the cultural institution of the Embassy of Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela in Barbados.
Spanish is one of the main languages in this hemisphere, of which Barbados is a part. And as we build out, of course, our relationships, as we build out, therefore, our competitiveness, the future of Barbados requires our people now to have an even deeper understanding of not just Spanish, but the relationship with foreign languages. Throughout the years, the Venezuelan Institute, therefore, has worked with our people in being able to provide them with the training and understanding of both Spanish and the culture of Spanish and the language. And this therefore presents tremendous opportunities as we build out.
And the Spanish and Venezuela culture teacher, Maria Perdomo, has encouraged the students to continue utilizing what they've learned in class while practicing by conversing, reading books, and watching movies in Spanish. She tells them Spanish is a language that will allow them to communicate with millions of people around the world.
Do not be afraid to make mistakes, because in every mistake there is an opportunity to learn more. Remember that fluency is built through perseverance, and every word you speak brings you closer to mastering this beautiful language. Be proud of what you have achieved today. You have shown that with effort and commitment, challenges can be overcome and goals can be achieved.
A new Calypso tent has been launched for the Crop Over Festival. The Rhythms of Legacy tent officially opened its doors at the offices of Summit Rentals. It's the brainchild of manager Randy Eastman. Trevor Thorpe reports.
Mr. Eastman told the audience that the tent's theme is honouring our roots with our musical roots. He said it is an investment in the future.
It is both a stage and a sanctuary, a space where tradition meets innovation, where voices are not only heard, but they're also cultivated. Our mission is clear: to nurture young talent, preserve the rich heritage of Calypso, and create meaningful opportunities for communities to actively engage with Barbados' traditions.
He also told the gathering that the theme is more than just a slogan, it's a declaration that represents continuity, responsibility, and evolution. He said they honour the giants on whose shoulders the art form rests, while deliberately investing in the voices of the future.
Because if we do not cultivate the next generation of Calypsonians, we risk preserving history without securing its future. At the heart of Rhythms of Legacy is not just performance, but development. This season, we are proud to implement a structured program of workshops designed to equip our artists with more than just stage presence. These sessions will cover vocal training and performance technique, songwriting and lyrical storytelling, music business and branding, stagecraft and audience engagement.
Mr. Eastman expressed high praise for the resource persons who supported the preparation workshops for the young Calypsonians and the launch of their website. The tent will hold shows at the Daphne Joseph Theatre and under the University of the West Indies tent. Trevor Thorpe, CBC News.
To sports now, Barbados Pride head into day 2 of their second West Indies Championship encounter against Jamaica Scorpions on the back foot, with the hosts resuming on a strong 358-4 at Sabina Park. The Scorpions seized control at the opening day thanks to a commanding century from Kirk McKenzie and a fluent knock of 96 from John Campbell, putting the Pride bowlers under sustained pressure. McKenzie's composed 114 was highlighted by 17 fours and a 6, while Campbell's aggressive 96 featured 12 fours and 2 sixes. Barbados Pride struggled to stem the flow of runs, though Johan Lane stood out with figures of 2 for 67. Here's a look at yesterday's headlines.
Short delivery, and he's pulled that away. Where's that one gone? It's almost flat batted, I think, down to long on. And that will go for 6 or 10 runs in the over.
So let's see how he goes.
This one's swinging in, and it's spaced on the leg side. And that will be flicked through the mid-wicket region for 4. Pulled in front of square through mid-wicket, and that's a lovely little 4 by Kirk McKenzie. Back to this one and punches that one through the offside. Brilliant stuff from John Campbell.
Yeah.
A good delivery. And that one's dug out a bit on. The throw comes in and it's another single there. And that will be the 50 for John Campbell. This time he goes flicks and he flicks. He doesn't try to keep this one down. That one goes down to wide long on. And that's a 6 for Kirk McKenzie.
A shot he plays often.
Instead,
lovely.
he goes back off the back foot and smacks him through the extra cover region, and that's 4 more to the Jamaicans. Kirk McKenzie, and he brings up his 5th there as well. Johan Lane to continue. And Campbell, well, he has decided, I'm going to get to my 100 first, and he hoiks that one into the mid-wicket region.
I don't rate you. Well,
goes big again this time. Has he thrown it away? He skies it up in the air. Shamar Springer's coming around, and he has spilled it. My goodness gracious me.
Did he spill it or did he take it?
Oh, the catch has been taken. Lean comes in again. He gets an edge on this one, and that is straight to Dapper at the slip position. Short deliveries, pull this one. Does he get a piece of it? He does indeed, and it runs into the ropes, and he backward square leg for 4. And what a celebration by Kirk McKenzie. Back-to-back hundreds for him. There will be a slight rain delay at Sabina Park.
Well, today's play starts at 11 o'clock Barbados time. That's a look at news and sports. More news and sports at 12 noon right here on TV8. Morning Barbados is back with more in a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
God will not give you a job. God will not call you to do something and then not give you the capacity to have it, to make it happen. He will give you the resources. He'll give you the people. Not only will he equip you with ideas, but he will equip you with favor, as he did Nehemiah.
Turn on the latest episode of Infinite Possibilities, only on CBC TV8, every Sunday at 1:30 p.m., sponsored by Covenant Life Teaching Center.
Welcome to Nature's Discount, the ultimate health food store. At Nature's Discount, we have thousands of quality products at great prices.
Hi guys, Dottie here with Nature's Discount, and today we are talking about solar ray, microbiome, probiotics, and why you should be taking them.
And we have well over 3,000 amazing products to help you get healthy.
For your health tips, tune in to CBC TV8 every Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday for Nature's Discount, sponsored by Get Healthy Incorporated.
98.1 The One, your number one party station. With an audience from 18 to 40, we keep you engaged, energized, and entertained. Choose 98.1 FM, The One.
Hey there, it's Mahalia. I want to share something that might be really helpful. If you're feeling anxious, overwhelmed, depressed, or lonely and have no one to talk to, call Lifeline Barbados. We all face struggles at times in our lives. You're not alone. There's no need to feel ashamed or embarrassed. It's okay to reach out for support. Lifeline Barbados is completely confidential. No one else will know you called. They're there to offer a caring ear and guidance without judgment. And fellas, I want you to know asking for help is a true sign of strength. It takes real courage to reach out. You can also call Lifeline Barbados if you're worried about loved ones who are struggling and you need advice on how to support them. There's a saying, a problem shared is a problem halved, but not everyone has someone they can confide in. That's why Lifeline Barbados exists, to be there for you or someone you care about during tough times. Save this number. Lifeline Barbados is just a call away. Remember, you can reach out whenever you need to talk.
Books opening, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
We're 13 and a half minutes now after 7 o'clock. We're looking at the vaccination rates in Barbados because we're heading into Vaccination Week in the Americas for 2026. And joining me as we take a look at this subject is Professor Anne St. John, who is, as we know, is a pediatrician, but she leads this charge in Barbados, and Sister Nadine Porter, a nurse in the Ministry of Health. And I remember both of you so well. You were sat with me last year, we discussed the subject. But good morning, each of you.
Good morning. Thanks for having us here.
You're very welcome. When we talk in Barbados about vaccines, especially coming out of COVID, there is a huge amount of hesitancy and misinformation out there in Barbados. But at the same time, when we don't get it right, there's a problem. Can we look at the coverage, general coverage in Barbados right now, Dr. I keep calling you Professor St. John?
I go by many names. It's fine.
Okay.
Well, we aim to have over 95% coverage. That is what we call safe coverage. And vaccine, as you know, immunization, it means protect. That's the purpose of having immunizations. And so in about 2020, our vaccine coverage for DPT, the diphtheria, whooping cough, tetanus, polio, the basic ones, fell to around 85%. And so there has been an effort to try to boost this. And certainly for measles, first vaccine is given at 1 year, the second one at 18 months. That also decreased significantly. And so the public health system, pediatricians, family doctors, trying to persuade parents, because there was a lot of fallout about vaccines, especially the COVID vaccine, how it was generated so quickly, how come, side effects. This is a big issue about immunization, side effects. But what are the benefits? Look at that. Benefits are protection, reduction. We have millions of lives saved, especially measles vaccine, which used to kill so many. And so we're encouraging immunization. However, in 2025, proud to say, in 2024, the immunization for DPT increased to 97%. Last year, it was 86%. So we're trying to get parents and adults who also need immunization. They need to be updated with their tetanus and influenza, which kills millions across the world.
When we hear of percentages, we think 80, that's a pass mark from school.
Yes.
But what kind of targets are we aiming for? 100% or at least in the high 90s?
Definitely. Always 100%, but 95% is definitely what we would like to be over.
And let's look at the dangers. When we do not have those high percentages, what's at stake?
Lives are at stake. Vaccines are safe. They save lives. What happens is that people contract, little children, because they get some immunity from their mothers during pregnancy and transmit it through the placenta, but their vaccine, their antibodies disappear. And so 2, 4, 6 months, the basic ones, then a year, MMR and chickenpox, then 18 months, boosters, 4.5 years and 11. Those are the boosters. And in between there's also influenza vaccine. There's HPV against one of our leading killers, cervical cancer. HPV came in maybe about 15 years ago, national level. We've had it for a while. Those are really, really important to have. If we don't have an immunization, you have the risk of having the full-blown disease. I don't have to go too far to say people are on social media reading in the United States and some other areas, measles, a commonly protected, available by vaccine. People have contracted measles and died. Children have died recently in the developed world, as we would say, because people decided they didn't want to be immunized, their children to be immunized.
And while it was something of which we boasted quite proudly before, we've seen the decrease in immunization also for measles in Barbados, in the Latin America and the Caribbean.
Certainly, but we still have a very reasonable coverage. We'd like to get to that 95%.
Yeah.
So we were 86% last year.
But because of travel and because of socialization, we could be at risk.
Perfectly so. And so we're still encouraging, have your child immunized. The thing we would like to say is, if you have doubts, because parents are young people and they listen to neighbors and friends. If you have doubts, consult with your family doctor, public health system, consult with a pediatrician, weigh the options. Very important to do so before deciding, I'm not having my child immunized. And I often ask parents, weren't you immunized? Were you? Yes, my parents took me. And I'm trying to understand why they're choosing not to be immunized for these things which have been in effect since maybe the 50s and 60s, safe vaccines.
Yeah. And so, Nurse Porter, you know,
yes, please.
I was immunized too, but I've always seen the card, piece of paperwork that parents would take with their children religiously to the clinics to make sure their children are vaccinated. Is that still done in a very serious way by Barbadian mothers and parents?
Yes, it is.
Fall off?
But we see a fall off in terms of the care of the personal health care book, which carry the immunization. Some of them, for some reason, we know that there will be incidents where you have house fires and floods, but we encourage parents to come. We have a record, so you can have a duplicate record, because that is what gives us the idea. We know that you are immunized, because it's recorded and dated and signed.
Can you catch up?
Yes, you can. Yes, you can catch up. There's an expanded program for immunization for the catch up. So we follow the schedule. So don't say, oh, I missed it, so I don't need it. It is very important, because if you don't have it, you're not covered. And if you don't have the series, you're not covered as well. So we encourage parents to come, discuss with us, and we will sort out the schedule for you.
Can you catch up as an adult as well?
We give boosters as adults.
Is the booster on the presumption that I have already had?
That you have already had.
But if I found myself not having had it in the first visit vaccination?
Well, we will assume you as not having, and we will start the series.
Thank you, ma'am. I just wanted to be sure, because there's some who are going to reflect for just a moment today, but I heard Professor St. John talk about what could happen, and I recall that I was not. But what do I now do? And you're saying, yes, you can still come, and we can begin your treatment.
Your immunization.
Your immunization,
yes,
where that's concerned. And there's a difference between vaccination and immunization.
Yes, vaccination is the process of receiving the vaccine. Immunization is the result of the vaccination, which is the immunity.
Is the parent shared this information at birth, so they understand? I mean, we can't assume anything anymore. They understand that there is a regime 2, 4, 6.
Yes, we actually start the education from antenatally while they are pregnant. So we encourage them, we go through what is expected. They get immunization, we go through the schedule, we give opportunities for discussions and talk about immunization. And we also, even for the antenatal, the mothers, we encourage the influenza and the tetanus for them as well, for protection as well. So it starts long before the baby is born.
We are, after all, a very mature society, and our health system is quite mature as well, so we know how to treat these kinds of things. But we're seeing the slippages sometimes, Professor St. John, which suggests that either we become complacent or we just didn't know. So, or which is it?
I think it's a mixture of both. As my supporter said, that lovely green book that we have, and if people if they lose the book, they had a fire or something like that, we now have electronic medical records, certainly at the polyclinics.
Yes,
I'm proud to say an accomplishment, so they can go on and just check to see what the child had. In fact, there is a means of monitoring. The public health nurses go to the schools to ask the parents to bring the books, and they see and check what's happening. We have another check where you should be immunized as a policy to enter schools, and if not, have an affidavit. Having counseling, an affidavit signed at the Ministry of Health and Wellness to say you're not being immunized. So there are lots of checks and balances. I would like to put in a plug now, not only for the healthy adults, but those with NCDs. And we don't have to remind people, are very aware of the high prevalence epidemic of NCDs in Barbados. And those who are exposed to these conditions with an NCD, you are disadvantaged. You can certainly contract some of these viral illnesses, vaccines being mostly for viral illnesses, and it can take you along. I don't have to go back to COVID. How many people with diabetes, high blood pressure, cancers succumbed because of their vulnerability? So that's another reason to have your immunization status checked.
And you can check it at any polyclinic.
Well, yes, because a lot of people would not have any book now. In fact, in those days, you just went to the clinic and got your shot with the biggest needle, as a child will remember possible.
And just let me say, each polyclinic, when you come, there is a child health register. So we register the child. So the vaccines are recorded in our child health register as well.
All right. We're not talking to scare you folks. This is not about scaring you. This is to actually to empower you to understand how you need to take responsibility for yourself so that you protect the wider community as well. We'll take a break right here. We'll come back and share with you how this week you can get to know and you can be checked, and you can also have your immunization or your vaccinations if you've missed a couple or two. We'll take a break right here. We're coming back in a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Books open your heart, your mind, and your soul. They are educational, entertaining, inspiring, and motivating. Are you an author of a recent book you want to share? Then Mornin Barbados would love to feature your book in our The Next Chapter segment. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb. That's morning without the G. Come and let us turn those pages together.
Week after week, Scold presents exciting reports and documentaries on the most varied topics of our time. Spectacular developments and innovations, lifestyle and trends of tomorrow, mobility and tourism, health news, highlights from art and culture. Each contribution grabs the viewer.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
26 after the hour in Vaccination Week. Professor Ansit John is with me, as well as Nurse Nadine Porter of the Ministry of Health. And so we're looking today at vaccination, the importance of vaccination, why every person in Barbados from childhood ought to be vaccinated. And if you're not, you heard you can sign an affidavit. But also what it means when you are not vaccinated and how you can get up to date where your vaccination schedule is concerned. And so there are a number of open clinics that you're having this week in particular, and going to open spaces as well. Who's going to share with me on that?
I will.
You will, Nurse Porter?
Yes, please. Coming out, because it's the Vaccine Week of America, we celebrate it from the 25th of April to the 2nd of May. Being in Barbados, we will be celebrating from the 17th. So we have already started with the Vital Sign program, which give information on vaccine and the importance of vaccine. So then we continue with, which is today, the Barbados, Mornin Barbados, on Tuesday, from Tuesday the 21st to Thursday the 30th of April. We will continue our activities. We have open days at the various polyclinic, which will run from 9:30 in the morning until 3 in the afternoon.
But is that every polyclinic or
every polyclinic?
Okay.
So on the 21st, I'll give you the days. On the 21st, we have the Brantford Tate Polyclinic. We have the open day, as well as the Frederick Miller Polyclinic and the St. Philip Polyclinic on the 21st. On Thursday, the 23rd, we have Winston Scott Polyclinic. And on the 24th of April, we have the Edgar Cochrane Polyclinic. And then on the 27th, we have the David Thompson Health and Social Service Polyclinic. We also have Morris Bayer Polyclinic, Randall Phillip Polyclinic, and the Edgar Cochrane Polyclinic.
Right, because Eunice Gibson is on the Friday.
Yes, please.
And this is designed so that we can get to a polyclinic nearest to us.
Yes, please.
So it's all over the island. And again, I come back to the Maturity of Barbados Network, which has a polyclinic as near as possible to the people. And so access to medical information and access to vaccination is so convenient because you go to the polyclinic nearest to you, which for me from the north would be the Morris Bayer Polyclinic. You know me well. You know me too well. So the Morris Bayer Polyclinic would be for me. And for those of you south of the island, you might want to go to St. Philip Polyclinic and St. Rose Polyclinic and get your immunization checked or updated there as well. And so all until the 29th or thereabouts, this is what you will be doing.
Right.
We're encouraging people to come.
In the open days, we also collaborating. You have access to all the services at the polyclinic, so you have discussions, educational topics and demonstrations from all the entities at the polyclinic. Those will also be available. So we have a community outreach on the Saturday, which is the 25th. So we have those at the Emerald City complex that's in St. Philip, and then Massey Car Park in Warrens. So we start at 10 to 3 p.m. So you have available to all the services, some of the services the clinic provide, as well as immunizations.
And you can have your questions answered. That's the important thing. Education, education. And while we might think it takes a little while, that's the form of education. Repetition. And you get it. It becomes a habit. And so we want to encourage everyone, whether you're an adult or a parent of a child, a little baby in arms, you show up as well, because these clinics are also open for you to be able to be up to date on your vaccination schedules, and if not, to be boosted as well. We hear a lot, Professor St. John, about the flu booster. It happens a lot in North America. But somehow, are Barbadians also taking that route?
Unfortunately, we're not having a great enough uptake. The influenza vaccine comprises a number of strains, and the World Health Organization, they usually look to try to predict what strains will be coming in this particular year. They are available at the clinics. I go to the Winston Scott, which is my catchment area. It takes me maybe 10 or 15 minutes. There are fears about long waits line up. You can go there particular days where these vaccines are administered. The flu is important. The flu kills more people than COVID did per year, but it's not something which is widely known. Fortunately, we're in an open environment, and certainly flu is not so common, but between the months of, say, September and March, influenza kills so many people. We have a lot of travel. People go north and people come south, and I encourage those to have influenza vaccine. It's recommended from 6 months onwards, because with diabetes, high blood pressure, heart disease, any of those conditions, if you get influenza, it can destroy your heart in a short time and you're gone just like that.
That's why it's so important, folks. It's very, very important, as a matter of fact. But measles as well, because with the spread in some of our catchment areas when it comes to tourism, we need to also be ready for measles.
For measles. Measles, mumps, and German measles. In pregnancy, if a mother gets German measles, her baby can have heart disease, deafness, and general effects from it. So it's not commonly seen now because we have a good immunization rate, but I do encourage adults to also look after their vaccine status.
Boosters, that's the whole point. Boosters are available. And because there was a time we had seasons for tourism, we seem to have tourists here all year long. Because we're engaging with so many different people from so many different areas who bring their opportunistic viruses to us as well. It's important that we stay up to date where that's concerned as well.
Very important.
And so the open days allow us to be able to track our progress, our immunity as well. And so we want you to show up, whether it is at a polyclinic or on the 25th at Emerald City in 6 Roads, or at the Warrens in Warrens. Massey in Warrens. That's right.
Yes,
those two large areas are where the medical professionals will be there to be able to answer your questions, to update you on whatever you need to be updated on, and to really set you on a healthier path. We want to reach 100% coverage so that we ourselves are very confident that we can resist and withstand a whole host of things that are out there waiting for us to drop our guards, and we don't want to drop our guards in any particular way. And so these weeks will allow us to be able to get back on guard, so that as a society we are strong to be able to repel whatever might be brought our way. And so it's important for you to get to know and to be able to be guarded against it. And parents, I'm sure, nurse, you would want to be able to remind mothers again to visit the clinics.
Yes,
Bring the
please.
child. Don't wait and assume that candle grease and everything else will solve the problem. Bring the child if you're not sure.
Sure, exactly. If you had the vaccine and you have any issues, which we usually say, please return to us once we're open. Then you still have access to your pediatrician, Winston Scott Polyclinic, the 24-hour clinic, or you can go to any department. So we usually counsel and let them know what will happen when they receive the vaccine. We tell them that you're going to have a little bit of swelling at the injection site. You might get a little swelling at the injection site. You might have a little redness. So we guide them on what to expect, because when you know what to expect, you know how to manage it.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Because we always say, oh Lord, they're going to inject my child if he gets so he's sick. And that's not a sickness.
No.
That is the vaccine working.
The body responding to
that. Because there's the little fever and the soreness. The child doesn't complain too much. You say gives a little paracetamol. However, the overall illness, like measles, which can damage your brain, cause encephalitis, hearing loss, and general, this is not a nice thing. And as an adult, it definitely is not good to get chickenpox and measles.
Yeah. That's why vaccination is important, ladies and gentlemen.
They're
and so, starting tomorrow, right on is tomorrow or Wednesday? You start on
the 21st.
The 21st,
tomorrow.
which is tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
So starting tomorrow, please visit the polyclinic nearest to you. Please visit. Get to understand your status, your vaccination status. Take along your record as far as you can recall. If not, the system allows them to go into the system and check for you. So you're empowered to know what your status is and follow the schedule. Follow the schedule. We want to increase our coverage rates in all of the areas indeed. And when we do so, we as a community feel stronger and better for it indeed. I want to encourage all of you from a child to adult to show up at all of the clinics and also to show up at the open days on the 25th at Emerald City and at Massey Warrens as well, to engage with our public health officers to get to know a little bit more about your coverage. Thank you, Professor St. John, again, and thank you, Nurse Proctor, as well.
Thank you.
Porter, thank you so much indeed for joining us this morning. Morning Barbados breaks right here. We're coming back with more in a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Afar segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.vb. And together we will travel the world.
Some ask, what makes Barbados so special? We at Mornin Barbados say it's you, our exceptional youth. You are talented, resilient, and inspirational. You are the epitome of the Barbadian spirit, testing the boundaries of your creativity. If you are an entrepreneur, artist, baker, designer, author, or have done anything you think should be highlighted, email us at morninbarbados@cbc.bb. Let us show the world our exceptional Bajan youth.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
21 minutes now to go before 8 o'clock, and so we're joined. Who said the church doesn't have fun? Y'all are kidding me. Who said that? And furthermore, why would you believe that if you don't know for yourself? And so the New Testament Church of God is having a very big fun day coming up very, very soon. I want you to get to know a whole lot more about it. Joining me to talk more about it is Bishop Dr. Kenroy Burke. You know him for radio. He's the administrative bishop of the New Testament Church of God Barbados. And Andrea Harris, who is part of the fundraiser. You chair the fundraising committee, right,
Yes,
Andrea?
Yes, sir.
Welcome, both of you.
Thank you.
Bishop, we hear of the church going out and doing outreach in terms of having those open tent sessions.
Yes.
And you're preaching. But you're doing something different this time around.
Yes, Pearson. One of the things, interestingly, is we're doing something different so that we could probably end up on the same road. But we are raising funds, and we thought it would be nice to do something fun. Fun to raise funds, because sometimes we could get a little stiff and conventional, but we want to create a social atmosphere. We've been building a church and building the whole ethos and momentum again in our church, and the camaraderie. So we felt as though to do something different this time would be great. Interestingly, the men were the ones who said, look, this is what we want to do. And we're just excited to be able to be a part of what was going to happen.
Building the church. And I get excited about that, because I think that's what we've been commissioned to do, to bring others and to go to minister to others. And in building the church, you're not necessarily talking about a physical space. No. You're talking about the community of people of faith.
Yes.
And so what are you seeing as to be some of the, I'm asking this generally, to be some of the threats affecting the church today, because we know the devil is hard at work as we head to the end of time. The things that the people of the church can still do to resist the devil.
Well, of course, we are in a totally different space. We are under what I call a cultural attack, because there are many different voices that are fighting for that space. So as a church, I think one of the key things that we could do, Pearson, is remain consistent. After all, Jesus himself said, it is my church. I know you said what you said earlier, but he said he will build his church. My church, I'm going to build my church. And then he also said, and the gates of hell shall not prevail against it. So really and truly, our main task in this is to remain consistent. Be a consistent voice. Unfortunately, many things are changing, and there's a temptation to kind of fit in. The church is not meant to fit in. Unfortunately, we're not meant to fit in. We are meant to be consistent, to be true to who God has called us to. And I believe, yes, even though methods may change and the way that we do certain things, even in this years ago, you wouldn't hear about karaoke. Oh my goodness, that would have been sacrilege. But today we are in a different environment, so we are able to embrace different things, but yet remain strong and consistent to the principles of the Word and what God has taught us in His Word.
And that's what underpins this activity,
that is
being strong and consistent with what the Word of God says. Exactly. Because we've labeled what was wholesome into something very negative. Exactly. And you're saying, nope, not that. That's not our approach at all. So when we hear about karaoke, we're not talking about the other secular karaoke. No. We're talking about singing God's words, singing to praise to God. And so this family fun day coming up, Andrea, tell me about it. When is it? Where is it? What's going to be happening at it?
Okay, it is on Tuesday,
The 28th of April.
National Heroes Day.
Yes, sir. The place is Rubis Sports Club. All roads lead to Rubis Sports Club. All right, on Spring Garden. On Spring Garden, we're starting at 10 and we're going through to 5 in the evening. It's going to be a day packed with lots of family fun, activity, food. That grill is going to be fired up and sizzling. All the chicken, all the fish, all the pigtails, whatever you want, you can get there. And we're really looking forward to a wonderful time. As Bishop was saying, we are the salt of the earth. We are the light of the world. And I am glad that we can have an initiative like this that can cause persons to be in an environment that they can feel comfortable, yet hear the word. Because as Bishop said, it is a Christian karaoke. So that's our focus. You're going to get to sing along. We're going to be able to take you, sing along with you. And whether the key is right or wrong, we will help you. We will help you. We're going to have activities for the children. We're going to have a kids zone. We will have an adults games session, youth session. We're going to have dominoes. We're going to have tennis. We're going to have jumping tents. We're going to have different tents. There's going to be a forever young tent. All sorts of things we're having there on that day. You wouldn't want to miss it at all.
Where is this sports club?
This is, okay, if you are going to Brandon's Beach, you know, if you turn on the Mighty Grinder Highway to go to Brandon's Beach.
Okay.
Okay.
I haven't been on
the junction right there.
Yes.
There's like this 4-cross on the highway. On
If you come down,
highway.
yes.
So you're passing.
Oh, I got you.
Right.
I got you now.
Like if you were going to Weiser's Bar.
Yes.
Right.
Got you now.
Right.
That's where we're headed on National Heroes Day for this really Christian karaoke and barbecue. And because we started with the word Christian, that's the nature of the activity.
That's
but
right.
if you're a non-Christian, it's also for you.
Yes, sir.
It's
yes,
really
sir.
a family
Yeah,
event.
it's a family.
Yeah.
It's really an event for the family. Now, Pearson, one of the things that I wanted to make sure people understand, because many times when people hear you're raising funds as a church, they're wondering, what are these funds for? So many, I'd say many years ago, 25 years ago to be exact, God blessed the New Testament Church of God with a property on Fairchild Street, which we call currently the Ministerial and Educational Resource Center. The vision behind the entire project from our former administrative bishop, the late Dr. Alva Hunt, was to have a center right there where people from the adjoining districts could be blessed and ministered to holistically, not just in spiritual development, but in the social, mental, you name it. We spent the majority of our time purchasing the property and never got the chance to see the vision. This year, we want to celebrate. We're going to be rededicating the property, renaming the property in his honor. And we also want to celebrate that vision. So it is now an opportunity for us to do it. So all we are doing here is not to do anything other than ministry to the community. And you know the communities, we're right in the heart of the city there in Fairchild Street, and we want to be a blessing to those communities as was prescribed and envisioned for the property 25 years ago.
Now you get the story, now you get the background, now you know why and what you'll be engaging with on National Heroes Day at the Rubis Sports Club, as if you're going to Weiser's. That's where the location is. You will find, because you'll find other believers centered there for this Christian karaoke and barbecue. It starts bright and early in the day. Bright and early, 10 o'clock, and you're spending the afternoon right there with it as well. So we want to encourage as many of you as possible. They'll have that barbecue grill turning out some chicken and pork and pigtail and all the rest of it to your heart's delight. But you can come sing some wonderful karaoke. Feel free to express yourself as a Christian and understanding of what the work is. And all of these funds go towards the redevelopment of the community center, the center right there in Fairchild Street, pretty near to Starcom Network. You can't miss it. What you all would call mercy, that's exactly what we're talking about. And so we encourage all of you, from the very young to the very old, to be a part of this. It's a family activity, a fun day indeed. Thank you so very much for joining us this morning.
Pearson, can we say to them that you'll be also singing?
No. Bishop Kelroy Burke trying to catch me in the morning. No. Andrea Harris as well. Both of you, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having us.
You're very welcome. God's blessings on this.
On you also.
Thank you. Morning Barbados is right back right after this.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Week after week, Scold presents exciting reports and documentaries on the most varied topics of our time. Spectacular developments and innovations, lifestyle and trends of tomorrow, mobility and tourism, health news, highlights from art and culture. Each contribution grabs the viewer with extraordinary images and stories and takes him into fascinating worlds which he experiences here exclusively and up close. We're there when companies and specialists develop super satellites for a global network in space and can look behind the scenes. Scold is a window to everything that is there or is yet to come. Fly with us through time to better understand today and tomorrow. You've always wanted that. Scold, a look into the future.
Our world today is not the world God wants it to be. One of the reasons, which will surprise many, is that our planet, its governments, and its peoples are all living...
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Many of us as children have found joy within books and joys within the library. And so the Cayfield Campus Libraries, they're celebrating National Library Week this week, and again reminding us of the value of the contribution of the people who work within the library and the things we engage with within the library. And so joining me is campus librarian at the Cayfield campus in Pauline Nicholas. Pauline, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Good to have you.
Thank you for having me.
Our very familiar face, Cecilia Neblett. Cecilia, good morning to you.
Good morning,
Good to see you as always.
Thank you.
Let's talk about why this. Why is the campus doing this?
Okay. It takes me back to the history. 1958, the American Library Association and its membership across the world decided that the world need to understand the role of libraries and have them support libraries in whatever format. So it goes back to 1958. So every year, for the first week or some week within April, then it is celebrated as National Library Week. Mm-hmm. And this year, our theme is Find Your Joy, right? And it's so interesting that yesterday we spoke about it at a church service for the launch. Mm-hmm. And the moderator came across and said, I will be returning to the library. Send me your invitation so I can participate. Of course, there is joy. Library is not now about just books and collection. We have moved beyond collection to connections. And so it's about connecting with people, connecting with resources on the internet, digitally. And so we have moved away from where it was, where we were custodians of print material.
And that I'm so glad you were able to express, because I heard you say in its many forms. Mm-hmm. And oftentimes we tend to think it's just old dusty pages returning. That's not it alone. And so now, because we've upgraded our channels of delivery of the information, that's why you need to get back into the library. And you get to learn about the world. You get to learn about people's stories. You get to learn about yourself, because in your journey to know, then you discover self, I believe. Right, Cecilia?
Yes, person.
So let's talk a little bit more about what else is happening and why families really should once again enroll in a library.
I think that the library is the foundation for learning. And I think that it's critical in this time, with the rate of literacy, to encourage persons to come to the library. It's not just
as persons would say, a boring place. It's a place now where dynamic strategies are used to encourage people, to educate persons, to encourage. And we're also a library that supports as well, because we have several initiatives that we do at the University of the West Indies. We have a laptop program where we loan laptops to children who cannot afford for 3 months or so. We have give back initiatives. So we're doing so many things at the University of the West Indies to encourage persons, not just to see the library as a place for research, but to see the library as a place for learning, engaging. I was speaking to Miss Nicholas just now, and I was telling her about crop over, because next year we would have, a crop over launch in our libraries, because we're looking at educating persons about the foundation of crop over. So library spans across many gaps.
Yeah, and there are many libraries at the campus, as a matter of fact. Almost each faculty has its library, its collection of works.
There are different. We have the law library, there's one in Salises, we have the cricket library, we have the main library, the Faculty of Medical Sciences also has a library.
And culture, because I know there are books, publications as well there. My godson, he came to visit, he said, "Uncle, all those books." I said, "Because that's my library."
Right.
And it's important, and I love to go back from time to time and re-engage with the literature. I still like the physical book myself.
Me too.
Yes, we do. We go online, but I love to hold the book and turn the pages and bookmark it, those kinds of things. And so we want people to get back to the joy of reading and learning and engaging with text and other forms and formats as well. And
the computer, the internet is there where you can do search. The databases are there. We are looking at developing like an innovative lab where it's not just about learning but creating knowledge, where students will come and we create things. We work with the business community, for instance, in a digital maker space where students will come, users, faculty will come and learn how to create things. So that is an initiative we're looking at. So persons will see, it brought back memory. I recall when I entered the librarianship, I went to Teachers College to do teaching, right? And when I went in, I was assigned to social study and geography. And then being there, I said, no, they're similar. Why do I narrow my scope? And so I left the class one afternoon and I went to the Student Affairs section and said, is there any other option open? Nothing was open. They said double major math. I said, no, I don't touch math with a long stick. And then they said, they're the only one available is library science. And I said, what is that? Because in my mind, we don't go to school or colleges, universities to do librarianship, right? And as she said, go up. And it was at a time when libraries were now being automated, and I was fascinated by technology.
Right.
And from then, no turning back. No turning, yes. And I'm just so excited about the profession. So we are here to encourage persons to use the library and persons also to think of librarianship as a career path.
Excellent, you've got me convinced. And so what are you doing this week, though? What other activities are you having this week? Who's going to tell me about that?
Both of us.
Okay. I only have 4 minutes.
Yes, all right. So we have the launch on Tuesday of the Friends of the Library, because we realize there are so many other things that we want to do, but the funding is not there. And so we would have started what we call a Friends of the Library program, our group. And this is university approved. And the group will be working with us at an advocacy group, and they'll be as a fundraising group, and we're seeking membership. And here Cecilia is the chair for that
You chair
program.
that. So how can people become members?
We can become members by going on the university's website. We have Facebook pages for the Friends of the Library page. And you can actually call the library 417-4000 and ask for the City Martin Library. And
so I want to be a part of the group of Friends of the Library.
Yes, Friends of the Library.
And so this is tomorrow, the launch.
Tomorrow at 2:30, that's the launch. And may I add, there'll be forms. So if you attend, we have the physical form that you can fill out at that form. At that time, we'll be telling persons more about what we'll be doing, and you fill out and join.
Okay.
Once you attend the university or an alumni, or you have any attachment,
you should be a friend.
Right, be a friend.
You're also reaching out by going to the Good Shepherd School on Wednesday.
Yes.
And to read to the children? Or
yes. And to help set up the library.
Okay.
I know they have a library, but we're going back for literacy, and we'll be doing a digital literacy game with the students. Watch your digital step. And that game was done by a librarian of the Sidney Martin Library.
Well done.
Yes,
Well done.
yes.
I commend you. I commend you. Thursday, what's happening Thursday, Cecilia?
Nicholas.
You are, Thursday
Yes.
coming up. I know you have, you're going to be talking about a panel discussion in the evening.
Yes, it's a panel discussion celebrating World Book and Copyright Day.
Where is the panel discussion being
It's going to be online.
Okay.
Yes, it's going to be
So we
online.
visit the website to get those details, how to log in.
Yes, and we'll be sending
All right.
out files.
And
yeah.
Friday, you're also having a staff appreciation day. I love it.
Yes.
I love it.
The staff would have worked overtime and to really get things going. And I want to say thank you to them in different formats. So I'm not telling you what we're going to do because they don't know.
Not a problem. But in the morning, you're
Yeah.
reaching out once again to St. Bernard's Prem. You're
Yeah.
really going across the island.
Right.
And touching all of the
Right.
spaces where children are.
But Pearson, what I want to add is that the University of the West Indies, when I was alumni president, we donated to the library to the Good Shepherd School. And that is something that we did because we recognize the importance of building bridges in our community.
And we want to see how big that library is now.
It's
So that's
beautiful,
why you're
it's
heading back there
beautiful,
on
it's
Wednesday.
beautiful.
Yes.
I'm out of time, but this is fantastic. I know we have other opportunities to talk more about the work and why this week is so important when we find joy. With our librarian, we have all had a favorite librarian over time. I'd love to hear you regale us with your stories as well. Where did you go to read in the library? Which library did you attend? Who was the librarian of the time? And what did you get from the library? What would you love to do still to contribute to that library as well? Those are conversations I'd like you to have online so we can read and share the comments a little later on as well. So share, folks. But ladies, thank you so very much for joining us. Good to have you indeed. Pauline Nicholas, the campus librarian at the Cayfield campus, and Cecilia Nablet, who is the Friends of Library Chair. And remember, you can go online to know more about how you can become one of those friends of the library, and I want to encourage you to do so. But the launch is tomorrow. Physical forms will be given to you then if you show up to be a part of it indeed. And that launch is held where? On the campus?
In the gallery, right. In the library, Sidney Martin Library, in the gallery.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Thank you again.
Thank you for having us.
That's it for today. We've read it all, folks. And so I want to encourage you to have yourselves a tremendous today. Be the will of the Lord. We will see you tomorrow. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.